Hello guys, welcome back. In this video I'm gonna show you the difference between a classical, acoustic and electric guitar. I have many students getting confused, especially between classical and acoustic, so if you are a beginner you're probably gonna find this video helpful. Thank you very much for watching and subscribe if you want to keep update. See you next time. Alright, let's start off with the classical guitar. This is a classical guitar, it can also be called Spanish guitar. Now, if you're really getting confused between classical and acoustic, the first thing you want to be checking out is the headstock. Now, the headstock for a classical guitar is really specific, and as you can see, you have slots between mechanics, okay? And also the tuning pegs are vertical to the head, okay? Just quickly, this is an acoustic guitar, this is the headstock. You can see the difference. This is a plain headstock, okay? So, and also the tuning pegs are parallel to the head. Now let's get into details. One thing really important, a classical guitar has a wide fingerboard or fretboard, okay? So the nut is basically wider than an acoustic and electric guitar. That makes the beginning maybe a bit more challenging because you have to stretch more your fingers, but on the other hand, because you're using nylon strings rather than steel strings, that makes the approach a bit more soft and delicate, okay? So you're basically gonna have less sore fingers if you start with the classical guitar, because nylon strings are much softer than steel strings. Also, a classical guitar doesn't have any fret dots, okay? A fret dot is basically literally a dot usually placed on the 3rd, 5th, 7th and 12th fret. You don't have that on a classical guitar. I have one, it's handmade, it's here, it looks horrible, but it works. So if you're playing on high positions and stuff like that, it just helps you to go through the frets without getting lost, okay? And this is something that happen quite often to me. And you can use just like, this is literally a plaster, okay? So I cut it, stick it on that, and that's it, done. Now the body is quite small, so as you can see the guitar is quite small. And one thing really important, the edge has a notch system to fix the string. So if you want to change string and you don't know how to do the notch, I will probably recommend you to speak with your teacher or check out some videos on YouTube, and because otherwise you're gonna get stuck. You really have to know how to do the notch in order to change the string. How you use it, okay? Now, if you do, if you study at the Conservatory of Music or at the University of Music, you're doing any sort of academic path, you will use this posture, okay? So you're gonna use your left leg, okay? Rather than a kind of rock and roll thing, you're gonna use this posture, okay? Your left hand, it will always be, it will always have this position where the thumb is right behind the fingerboard, okay? So, and you always want to reach this arch here, so you're never gonna have something like that or something like that where the thumb is all over the place, alright? Okay, straight position, this is a classical position. So that's the first thing, and obviously the fact that the fretboard is wider does help a lot. If you end up with your thumb sitting on the fretboard, well, this is not gonna help, and it's definitely going to make things much harder. So this is about your left hand. The right hand. Now, if you play classical guitar, you probably want to use long nails, and this is just because nylon strings gives you a huge range of dynamics, okay? So the fact that you use nails just gives you a different approach. If you just use your tip, you basically tend to grab. rather than pluck. Okay, and also the articulation, it will be different. Let me show you the dynamics that you can have by using nails. Okay, let's say that I play something like that. I can decide to have a bright sound like that. So in that case, I'm using, you know, just like the middle nail. Okay, if I use the left side, that's gonna change a lot, because I'm going from this sound to this sound. So as you can see, just like moving, just by moving your right hand, you're gonna have a huge differences in terms of sounds and dynamics. Also, if you use also the articulation, it would be much different. Okay, so this is definitely something that you want to think about when it comes to classical guitar. Nails, posture, and also the repertoire. If you play classical guitar, you're probably gonna be playing, obviously, classical music. You can also play just like modern stuff rearranged. Okay, some jazz and some Brazilian music. You know, is a kind of quite versatile instrument in terms of repertoire, but it's not that versatile in terms of sound and technique that you can use. So let me put together a couple of videos that I've recorded in the past, so you can have you can also hear the difference, and see you in a second. Moving on, acoustic guitar looks like a classical, more or less. It's a completely different instrument. Okay, the headstock, as we were saying before, completely different. Plain headstock, tuning pegs parallel to the head. Okay, the fretboard is smaller. Okay, the nuts is much smaller. That makes the first approach much easier. Okay, you don't have to stretch them much. On the other hand, the fact that you're using metal strings make the tension twice harder. So you might probably end up having sore fingers for a couple of days. It's normal, don't panic, and keep practicing. Fret dots, super helpful. All these little dots that you can see here, they help you out, you know, just like going through the frets. If you're playing up here, you're not gonna get lost. Okay, you usually have it on the 5th and the 12th fret. On this guitar you have it on the 5th, 7th, 9th and 12th fret. If you're playing live, if you're gigging live, you are on stage, you have it here as well. So you don't, I don't know if you can see them, so you don't have to pick on the fretboard, because you have it here, so you can literally stand and play. Okay, the body is just like a classical guitar. Okay, this is definitely bigger. Anyway, you have a sound hole like a classical guitar. Then makes these two guitars quite similar, because they're both acoustic. You don't need any lead or amps and stuff like that. You can play like that acoustically, or you can record it with a mic. It will sound absolutely amazing. So the difference is the bridge, okay? The classical guitar has a notch system. This is completely different. You have bridge pegs. It's super easy to change a string. You flip up this one, you put a new string and you lock it like that. It takes a few minutes and it's kind of easy way and quick way to change strings, okay? So completely different compared to a classical guitar. The acoustic guitar is a super versatile instrument, and it stands right in the middle between a classical and an electric guitar. You can play it with the plucking technique as the classical guitar, so fingerstyle. But you can also use a pick as the acoustic guitar if you want to do more strumming. So yeah, it's super versatile, and is also can be used as an electrified guitar. That means you can take a lead, put it here, switch on the amp, and it can be electrified just like an electric guitar. So it's definitely really versatile, and you know, the fact that you can decide to record it with a mic, or you can record it with the lead. When you are on stage, you use the lead. It's super easy, and it's definitely a cool instrument to start with. Many guitar players start with the acoustic guitar because it's just, you know, it's a mixture of classical and electric. Let me just play a couple of things for you. I'm just going to put some video here so you can hear the acoustic guitar. If you want to know more about strumming, you can check out some of my tutorials, and hopefully you're gonna find it helpful. So see you in a second, and we're gonna check out the electric guitar. Alright, let's check out the last one, electric guitar, okay? This is a completely different instrument. It's smaller and heavier, which it doesn't really make sense, but I will show you why it gets so heavy. Now, the headstock, it looks like the one we've been checking out on the acoustic guitar. You know, just like a flat, plain tuning pegs parallel, so it's kind of the same. The fretboard is more or less the same size, okay? I don't have fret dots on this guitar, but I have birds, okay? Always placed on the 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th and 12th fret. I also have the dots here. If you can see them, I don't really know. So it's kind of the same as the acoustic guitar. I can use the stripe as the acoustic guitar, okay? The things that makes this instrument completely different is the body, okay? Now this is one single piece of wood, okay? There's no sound hole, so we can't consider the electric guitar an acoustic instrument. If I try to play, I don't really have sounds coming up. Okay, so basically I need an amp. I'm gonna show you in a second how does it work. So this is one single piece of wood, okay? The Bridge is completely different. This is a kind of bridge that you can find also on the Fender Stratocaster. Kind of similar. The differences are countless. Okay, so each guitar has a different stuff. I'm not gonna go into details. It would be too long. The cool thing about this guitar is you can change string really quick. Okay, when you change string, you insert them from behind. It comes up here. Put it up, lock it in the locket tuner, and you tune up, and it takes literally 2 minutes. Okay, happened to me a couple of times. I snap a string on stage, and the next song I was on again. So it literally takes 2 minutes. Pickups, okay. The fact that this instrument is not amplified means that you're gonna need mics, okay. The pickups are your mics. Now the pickup does basically pick up the signal and send it to the amp, okay, through a lead. I'm gonna show you in a second how does it work. I can have different kind of pickups, different configurations, and I can select them by using the switch. Okay, so I can with the pickup switch I can select just this one or just this one or both of them. Okay. You also have a volume control, volume knob, which is basically, you know, with this knob you decide how much volume you want to send to the amp. And you also have a tone control, which is basically just a filter, so it can make the sound less or more bright. Okay. Now, how does it work? You need a lead. Okay, so you need something like that, just like the acoustic guitar. The thing is, the acoustic guitar, it can be electrified or not electrified. Okay. The electric guitar, it has to be electrified, otherwise you're not gonna have any sound. You usually have a port here. You insert the lead, okay. You switch on the amp, and you're gonna have a sound. Now, this is. Let's start with the clean sound. Okay, you can have many different kind of sounds. Okay. This is a clean sound. And you will see you can literally achieve different kind of sounds by using the switch. Okay, so this, for example, I'm using this pickup. Now I'm using this one. Okay, so so you can have different kind of sounds considering the pickup you use. You can also have, you know, much more crunch, rock sound. This is a super versatile instrument. Okay, the electric guitar is definitely probably the most versatile. And this is because in terms of styles, you can play jazz, you can play rock, you can play funk, you can play blues. You know, you can play so many different styles, and you have so many different techniques. Alternate picking and legato, and you also have string skipping and power chords, tons of stuff. Okay, so if you are a beginner and you're thinking about buying an electric guitar, you have to you have to know you're gonna have to buy some extra stuff. You definitely need an amp, you definitely need a lead. It's gonna be a different music path as well. Okay, so if you love it, go for it. If you are a beginner, you don't really want to know what to buy, well, you should ask to your teacher, or start maybe with an acoustic guitar. If you love classical music, go for a classical guitar. I hope this video is gonna help you, and just feel free to contact me if you need extra info. And thank you very much for watching and subscribing. See you next time.